Okay, today we're going to be playing GeoGuessr SATELLITE, which is quite different from GeoGuessr streetview, and we are going to be seeing how very different it is. The little inset picture of me down in the bottom left will freeze soon because there's something about the amount of memory I have in the computer. So I'm going to get rid of it quite soon. But just for now, we're going to explore this game, which, as I say, is entirely different, as you can see. This is not Google Street View. This is from space. And one of the reasons I want to do that is because the people, the whiz kids like Chicago GeoGuessr, Rainbolt, or whoever, these people who play Chicago, GeoGuessr is one of them who has done satellite, but those guys who play GeoGuessr Street View are absolutely brilliant at it. When they've played this, they seem to not know all the clues, and it's fun to watch them, very bright guys they are, discover the clues. But I've been playing this for some time, so I thought it was worth posting something about some of the clues that are worth learning. Partly that's the reason. The other reason is that it's so interesting and so beautiful. Anyway, here's a couple of islands. And I happen to know what they are, but let's look down and have a look at what clues we can see. It's in the northern hemisphere, which you can see by the shadows being in the north. It's a port. It's old. It's pre-automobile. You can see that, how dense it is. It's the automobile which spreads cities out. It's old enough to have a star fort, which are mostly built in the 17th and 18th centuries. There's, I think, a much older fort here. Anyway, I'll just tell you where it is. It's the island of Malta in the Mediterranean. They're not all this easy, I can tell you. As I expect we'll find out in a minute. Sometimes they're very difficult, but Malta is very recognizable and distinctive. Very ancient. It's a nation of its own. It's a nation state. It was very significant in the Second World War. Very significant way back in the medieval times when the Knights of St. John defended it against the Turkish Empire. A vicious, brutal siege where they would fire rotting bodies at each other. People who'd been killed, they'd fire them over the ramparts in order to try to sort of biological warfare, really. Okay, where the hell am I? Stop mucking around here and try to zoom in on the end game. So it's around here somewhere. We should at least try to get the good points where, so there's this here, this little bit here, so we're going up here, and then we're at there's that, and then there's this, and there's an angle. What I don't understand is I don't quite see this actually. St. Aloysius School, am I wrong? No, it's a completely wrong place. I made a mistake. Okay, there's that angle. That would be that angle, so going along here. I just don't see that driveway, which is curious. I mean, that's definitely in the right place, but it's kind of curious. We're right about here. Anyway, but we don't need to get it exactly. So 4 meters is good enough. All right, so the next one, well, my image hasn't frozen yet, so we'll see. Well, first of all, it looks fairly geometric. It also looks like in the northern hemisphere. The shadows of those trees appear to be in the north. And here's where you see the interesting effect of water interacting with the surface. I have no idea where this is, so this is a good one. World cities with at least 1,000. That's the game we're playing. And golly, it's really rather beautiful. This is a kind of messy landscape. And oh, well, this is again, it's Europe. Very distinctive old city here. Very tight woven tiled roof. These are so beautiful, and they're wonderful to walk in. Old European cities. It has a feeling of Italy, but it could be Spain. It's certainly, I'd say, one of those two. It's a big enough city, and it has a big city around it. It's a serious, and we're so dry around here. I think it's got to be Madrid, actually. I think it is probably is Madrid. And, you know, let's see if there's a bull ring. That might be a good clue, eh? Anybody see a bull ring? Bull ring, bull ring. Ah! Gee, is that not a bull ring? Yes, sir. That is a bull ring. Madrid is a pretty damn big city. I should have recognized it because I've been there in reality. So, not just in the virtual world. So let's see now. Where are we? We're just south of the city somewhere. Okay, we've left ourselves. I should try to do this a little faster so people don't get bored. But maybe you don't get bored. I think this is probably here somewhere. There's that sort of curve in the shape of the land. Oh, this is a new suburb. Look at it. Look how ordered it is. It's almost like a Chinese city. They are the most organized on Earth, and the newest built, and the most rapidly built. It's extraordinary. But you know, people think Spain. I think they have certain prejudices about what Spain is like, but Spain is probably not what your prejudices are like. It's very modern, very creative. I guess that's the next one there, and we're probably about here. El Caldero de Dagda. What is that? The caldera. Caldero, isn't that what you have in a volcano? The mouth of a volcano? Alright, so that was another 5,000 pointed. Let's see if we can keep this up. Oh, my image is frozen, so I'm going to get rid of that. That's just annoying. Okay, so now we are where? Definitely old world again. It's getting a little boring. Oh, I may be wrong. It may be the higgledy-piggledy field pattern, not a grid, very different on the right, unless that's just a different satellite picture. Wait a second. Now the cloud shadows are in the... Okay, this is now... Okay, this could be a faceplant. This could be a problem. I don't recognize this landscape at all. Let's just switch and see if we can see. Good Lord. How did that happen? Good Lord. I can't quite understand how that happened. This is a different landscape. That was a glitch. A glitch that I've never actually seen before. Anyway, we deal with what we got. So this is very mountainous, a number of islands, very big city with an island off it, which I don't recognize, or maybe I do. This is probably volcanic, probably part of the Ring of Fire, you know, the sort of place where you get earthquakes, I would imagine. Well, I'm not entirely sure. This is a very big city. I mean, it's not a monstrous city like Sao Paulo, but it's a big city. Very dense. Yeah, but rich enough to have a golf course. And, well, look at all those blue roofs. Blue roofs are very common in Asia. My friend Paul noticed that first. And we kind of think that the reason for that is because a long time ago, I think we're in the Philippines, by the way, a long time ago, it became a symbol of wealth to have blue, because of blue tile, maybe out of Korea, the ancient civilization of Korea, or maybe it was in China, I'm not quite sure, but blue became a symbol of wealth, so people like to have blue roofs. And that's persisted in Asia. We're around this river somewhere. Now there's some meanders there which aren't really showing up on the... okay, what am I doing here? What's going wrong? Something's quite wrong here. Oh, I see. That's so we're down here somewhere. Okay, now, as usual, I'm spending a little too much time dicking around. Where's that river? Is that a river? Yes, it's a very brown kind of river. And it just crosses there. I got the wrong place. Something's wrong here. There's the big highway, and it snakes. I think I've got something wrong here. I've got something wrong. Maybe that's right. That's better, yeah. So we're actually down here somewhere. I'm really not doing this very well. Is that it? I don't know. Something like that. No, I just blew it. Just blew it. Just by not paying attention. Jeez, okay, we lost the point because that was just me getting fascinated by the landscape and not paying attention to where I was. Okay, so this is another bumpy landscape. Are we in 3D right now? Yeah, so let's give a little tilt. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful city nestled among mountains where there's a lot of fog. I think it's bizarre, that amount of fog. But that has to be faked, right? Snow-capped, maybe not snow, maybe cloud-capped. Very big mountains. I mean, not Himalayan size. All those red tile roofs. Very distinctive. Sizable city. Let's see where the shadows fall, because this is not Europe. Doesn't look like anything like Europe to me. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. No. Interesting. I'm really not quite sure. Big stadium. You might help us by writing the name of the city on your stadium, which sometimes they do. Kind of puzzled by this. It's a big-ish city. A lot of tiled roofs. There's not a lot of high-rises. Or am I wrong about that? I mean, oh wow. The shadows are now going to the south. So that may have been an anomaly. Why aren't we... This looks like a South American city to me. If the shadows are in the south, there's no doubt of that. There's a... Good Lord. I think I know this city. Is it Quito? No, I don't think it's Quito. I think it's Medellin, Colombia. I think it's Medellin, Colombia. It's a long, narrow... And that would explain the shadows sometimes being in the north and sometimes in the south, because... So I think we're down by Envigado. I actually been to this city, so I should have recognized it. In fact, I did recognize it. I just didn't think it was possible that it would be that much of a coincidence. It was a city I've actually been to. Hey, well, now let's not have the same thing happen that happened last time. So where is... There's that roundabout, right? I think it's... There's the Medellin River, but it's not curving in the right way. Golly, come on. Where is that bridge which curves around? Where's that road which curves around? It's got to be further south. There it is. There it is. That's better. Okay, now we're on track. Golly, that was silly. Okay. So we're down in this neighborhood. Parque de Sabaneta. I think I know somebody who lives around here. If it's the neighborhood I'm thinking it is, not entirely sure. It's an animal hospital. Okay, there's that snaky road. We should be able to find that. There's the snaky road. The snaky road comes here, turns right, and we're right opposite that, so we're just about here, I'd say. Empanadas Luz, Carnes Cam. Looks like a nice neighborhood, actually. Who knows? Could be a place you could just road slip. 5,000 points. Well, that's good. Now, where are we? What's 5 out of... We've got the fifth one out of 5. So, looks like Europe, the crazy quilt field pattern, which is characteristic of an older society. Not that it's the only place where you get that, but you know, pre-grid mentality, pre-enlightenment, pre-age of reason, people farmed according to goodness knows what local customs, but primarily because of the geography, the very, very local geography. So there's some sort of hills to the west, and almost everything else is very flat. And the angle of the hills is sort of northwest to southeast. So let's go down and see what kind of town we have here. Unfortunately, I'm 19,999, and I think I could easily lose it on this one. Okay. We've got a central market square, or probably with a tower, City Hall tower, or maybe a church in the middle. It looks sort of German-ish. Let's just see if there's any high-rises on the outside, because like Soviet-style high-rises, or Soviet-style medium-rises, there they are. And there's a lot of them. So I'm pretty sure that that's the kind of thing that the communists built in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even the 80s, on a pattern of medium-rise buildings. So I'm thinking we're in the former communist part of Europe. The angle of but it doesn't look like Ukraine to me. The angle looks really right for the hills to be about here. Chernivtsi, that's too big a city. Chernivtsi, right? And there's no river running by it there. This is what I'm saying, is that this is where one can easily get Ivano-Frankivsk. Don't think so. I think it's a much smaller town. And that's unfortunate. Just see if there's a bigger town, if I can see on the 2D. Because then we can maybe locate it, just on the off chance. There's a town to the right. I'm sorry, I do not see it. Still in Ukraine. Somehow I just don't feel it's a Ukrainian town. It just doesn't. The church looked wrong. You know what? It didn't look, although this was all Catholic too in here. So it's not impossible this would be. So like a Polish town in here. No, I'm wrong. I haven't got it. I think I may have made a mistake. It's this particular line of. The mountains here are quite complicated. I really need to learn them better. I never seem to get them right. Could be up here. Could be Czechia. Could be here. Got very little time left. There's a Polish town here. Could that be it? Could be, but it isn't. It's too late. Man, I was close. It was Polish. I was right about that. Oh, that's hard. That's hard to but still, you know, I'll live and learn. Beautiful little town. And I was right that it was Polish. That central market square with that kind of... Anyway, that's the game. And let's see how well we did. 24,850. Well, could have been better. But could have been worse. So, thanks for watching.